This is the Emergency Medical Minute, sponsored by Mile High Ambulance. The Emergency Medical Minute is excited to announce that we are now offering AMA, PRA, Category 1 credits via online course modules. To access these and for more information, visit our website at www.emergencymedicalminute.com/CME-courses, or simply click on the link in our show notes and create an account.
Okay, so how about triage EKGs? We do a lot of them. We see a lot of triage EKGs here or from the pit. We do them for a lot of different reasons, including chest pain. But universally or anecdotally, the ones that are, when the computer reads them as normal, they usually are normal. So what do we do with normal triage EKGs? Should we be bringing them out and trying to track somebody, spending time trying to track a provider down, give it to a provider for them to decide what to do? And actually, they've done some studies, and there's some recommendations and some good studies that show that maybe we don't need to bring computer-read normal EKGs to providers. So we all know that when the computer reads it, it's not typically accurate when there's abnormalities, and none of us trust a computer-read EKG when there's abnormalities. But when it reads as completely normal EKG, that's when it's rarely wrong. So a real-world study that was done in an emergency department, they looked at 855 computer-read EKGs. 222 of those were read as normal, so a little more than a quarter of them. They then took two cardiologists and reviewed those 222, and those cardiologists either reported them as completely normal or an abnormality. Out of those 222, two cardiologists found 13 that they said were slightly abnormal, and those all had minor abnormalities that were nonspecific. They then took those 13 and gave them to a couple emergency room doctors and said, if you saw this EKG and it was brought to you, would you do anything about it with the patient still out of triage? Out of the two ER doctors looking at those 13 EKGs, only one ER doctor on one EKG said maybe I'd put that patient in the next available room. When they went back and looked at that patient was discharged from the emergency department and had a negative stress test the next day. So the authors concluded that a normal computer-read EKG from triage shouldn't be brought to a provider. And why is that important? Because in a busy multitasking environment, we all get interrupted a ton, and errors of restarting a task or being interrupted or task interruption occur all the time. And as any of you guys know, once you get stopped in the middle of a task, it takes 2 or 3 times longer to restart that task, whether you're on the computer or doing something for a patient. So just something that may help the flow of our ER if we consider doing that.
The Emergency Medical Minute would like to thank our sponsor, Swedish Medical Center, for helping fund our nonprofit organization and make this podcast possible. Donations are essential to our organization to cover operational costs and fund the creation of our online courses offering AMA, PRA, Category 1 credits. So if you enjoy our show, and if you're able to make a one-time or recurring donation towards our organization, any amount is helpful. Please click the link in our show notes to make a donation. Thank you for listening.